One thing for sure is, whoever they are, wherever they are, high-caliber investigations are in progress. It's not too often that a private investigator is ever hired to conduct an investigation for a person accused of DUI, driving under the influence. However, in this unusual case, I was hired. The story you're about to hear is an actual case. However, for client confidentiality purposes, I will not be showing you the actual video of the surveillance or the sting operation. Again, I'm going to walk you through a virtual tour of a DUI defense case that I worked a couple years ago in an unknown county. Obviously, the important part is getting the discovery from the mail. Oftentimes we get a case, we don't even know about it until we open up the mailbox. And then it's usually a rush. And hopefully the check will be in here as well. Come on, let's go to the office and we'll show you what we do. I used to say in law enforcement that police work could be like hours of boredom, but moments of sheer terror. And right now we're going to be doing the hours of boredom portion of private investigations, reading all the discovery and police reports. This DUI case is very, very simple as far as the discovery. It's a very small report. However, some cases I've worked came in large boxes and would take days and sometimes even weeks to finally comb through every single page. But once I get done reading a police report, I'll write then what I call a preliminary report, and I'll develop a defense strategy and a plan of action. In my preliminary findings, I discovered that there was an unusual, consistent pattern by the police officer in this case. But rather than subpoena his previous arrest records of DUIs in the area, we decided to be a little bit more covert. And what I did was I went to 3 bars in the same area where this one officer happens to patrol. It's his beat, his area, and I passed out over 400 flyers, basically wanted flyers, asking any patrons in these 3 bars to please contact me if they were in fact ever stopped by this deputy. And sure enough, before I knew it, within the next 2 weeks, I've gotten over 3 dozen witness statements from patrons that were in fact stopped by this deputy. But what is interesting is every one of them said that they were stopped for one of the 2 violations, either no left turn signal or the left brake light out, or traveling 45 miles an hour in a 35 mile an hour zone. There were no other violations noted in any of those witness statements. Once we did this, we realized that we needed to do an undercover surveillance inside the bars to see if, in fact, this deputy or officer was actually patrolling on foot inside and then watching them leave. And sure enough, our findings came back that is in fact what is occurring. You see, the Supreme Court ruled that it is unlawful for a police officer to stake out a bar and then pull vehicles over as they're leaving the bar. Once I had over 3 dozen statements from patrons who had been stopped previously, and probably about 60% of those, by the way, were actually arrested, I then went ahead and canvassed the neighborhoods in the community around these 3 bars and got witness statements from multiple people who gave testimony on my reports that they in fact did see this police officer park in their areas and actually watch this bar, or one of the 3 bars, with a pair of binoculars. Now that we had witness statements from patrons who had been stopped, witness statements from the community who saw the officer watch this place with a pair of binoculars, now my next plan of action was to actually conduct a sting operation on the police officer. A sting operation is almost like fishing. It depends on how you bait the hook. Eventually you're going to get a bite. And one night the sting operation took quite a while, but one night as I was leaving the bar, we also had another surveillance vehicle in the area gathering videotape on me just in case something happened with my wireless system that was in the car. But the deputy stopped me, and sure enough, I asked him what I was stopped for. He was very polite, by the way, and he just told me that I was traveling 45 in a 35. However, the videotape will show different of the actual speedometer of the car, as well as testimony by another investigator. My professional relationship I have with law firms and client confidentiality, the videotape that you're about to see is not actual video, but it is a factual story. Come on, let's go out in the field and see what happens now. Well, let's go in the back door in this place. Let's take a back look. Let's take the back door in. I need a cab. A glass of cab, Cabernet. Or Merlot, whichever one you got is fine with me. Thanks.
Alright, you're flexible with that.
There you go.
How you doing, sir?
Good. How you doing, officer?
Pretty good. I'm actually stopping you because you're driving 45 in a 35 zone. I'm going to need to see your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance, please.
Sure. Here's my driver's license. I think I got my insurance over here.
Were you aware how fast you were going?
No, to be honest with you, I wasn't. Too nice of a day. I wasn't paying attention.
Do you happen to know what the speed limit was on that street there?
35.
Okay. Is this address still current, sir?
No, I changed. I just moved.
Okay. Okay, if you just sit tight for me, I'll be right back.
Okay.